What's going on, YouTube? We are back with another video. It is 6:21 in the evening. We are over here about to go play in a pool tournament at here in about 40 minutes. But I wanted to make this quick video because somebody had commented about like some useful or helpful tips through the first 6 months of authority. So I'm just going to give a few. Probably not a very long video. I've talked about some of this stuff before, but just want to make a video of like all of them, so then that way if somebody does have any questions about it or anything like that, they can kind of have this as a reference, because that is the whole point of this channel, is to just help answer some questions, or if people are considering getting into this industry, or what to look forward to, or the struggles that may or may not come. But the first one and the most important one, and I've talked about it before, and I'll definitely mention it again, and probably multiple times, is drive and dispatch yourself if possible. I know other people have, like, if you have a job that you're making more money than obviously your bills, and you can use it to help pay for the cost of the trucking, then maybe not in your particular case, but that's probably the number one thing, because the driver and the dispatching is all, it's an expense, and it's a pretty expensive expense, especially when you have the two things which everybody is well aware of working against you, and that's the lower freight rates and the higher insurance, because the insurance companies look at you as a new authority, basically, like you're a teenage driver driving a Corvette or a sports car or something. Um, that's just kind of the way to kind of understand and explain it. And then other things would be like maybe only having one load board instead of two. These things aren't going to save you thousands of dollars, but they may add up and save you $100 a month, $200 a month. Well, even maybe more than that, but if you do it consistently. And that would be like I said, only having one load board in addition to Truck Smarter. Truck Smarter is free. So obviously have that one, and then maybe DAT or Truck Stop, whichever you prefer, or you end up going with. The reason why is because you're not able to work with a lot of brokers at the beginning of getting your authority. So, there's no point in seeing, 10, 20, 30 loads, on a random Tuesday, that you can really only call on one of them. And more times than not, it's probably going to be TQL, and they end up posting to both load boards. So that's a way to save 40, 60, 80 bucks a month, depending on which subscription plan you go with. But definitely get Truck Smarter because it is free. The next one is, again, just food wise, sodas and waters are big ones. Like waters, if you go to Sam's or Walmart or HEB, you get a 40 pack for $5-6. You go to a Truck Stop, you get a 24 pack for like 9 or 10. So little things like that. And then same with sodas, you go to a Truck Stop, it's $2 for a soda, or you go get a 12 pack before you leave. Same spot, Sam's, Walmart, you're already there. And then same with like snacks, if you like crackers or like little bags of chips, all of that stuff is just going to save you a little bit of money in the long run. But again, it's not going to get you rich or anything like that. The other one is the choice. I say choice, I'm like a hotel app. So that way, after 5, 6, 7, 8, however many nights you have to stay, they you can get a free night. I think it's like 5 or 6, and I get a free night. I tried to keep track of it one time, and I think it was around like 5 or 6. So again, that's going to save you 50, 60, 80 bucks. Sometimes, and the cool thing I like about Chase is, like, let's say this hotel is 8,000 credits or points, but I only have like 2 or 4 or 5,000. It'll be like 5,000 credits or points, and then you pay like plus $17. So you don't always have to, which I've done that a couple times too. So not only, or you just pay the hotel and then you get a free night or whatever the next time. So it all ends up kind of evening out. But the point is you can use those points. I've used almost all of my points, whether it was free nights or, like I said, I had 3,000, 4,000, and I ended up just using them and then having to pay like what I thought was maybe a cleaning fee, like 17 bucks or something. So I've done that. A big one also is fuel. So like, don't just wait till you're, on empty, the lights off, and you're about to run out of fuel on the highway. Maybe have an idea. Use the Truck Smarter app for the fuel. They'll tell you the fuel prices. So if you're coming up on an area, just look. And more times than not, unless you have some sort of a fuel card, the pilots, the big ones, the Loves, TAs, those are all going to be like super expensive because a lot of it's a bigger truck stop, but a lot of the trucks getting fuel there have fuel cards, which they'll end up saving 30, 40, 50 cents, or I don't really know exactly the pennies that they're saving. But so it ends up making it pretty reasonable for them. So I have a QT app on my phone that if I'm in the area, or I know I'm going to need fuel in the next hour or two, I'll look at the app and then see if there's any QTs that I'm coming up on, because normally they have pretty reasonable prices on fuel. But again, just kind of shop around, get the apps. The Truck Smarter has a fuel app, and just kind of look around there. I wrote down all these notes, and then of course I left it at home. So basically, I'm just trying to remember all the things that I wrote down, but those were pretty much the big ones. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then just the whole point is just minimizing your expenses, um, because the rates are what they are, and you know unless you maybe finding a direct customer, that would also help to get you some better rates. But even so, for instance, I've been I've our authorities more than 6 months. So somebody who's day one right now, and me 6 months, right? As far as the freight rates, it might be like for 800 or 1,000 miles, it might be like $1.20, $1.30 for the newer authority. But for me, it's um, maybe like $1.60, $1.70, $1.50. Like, it's not that much. My point, I have a point here, but my point is the money. It's not like it jumps up to $2. So that's just the honest truth. If anybody if anybody has a different experience, go ahead and just kind of leave it in the comments, because again, this is just my personal opinion. I just know when I was starting out, I looked on Google and YouTube, and I tried to find things of people talking about it, because I had already kind of had an understanding. So that's the whole point of this. But where there is a pretty decent difference is the shorter runs, like less than 200 miles. Like, it might be 200 miles, it might be 300 to go to like San Antonio, $300. But at 6 months, I found 455, even 600 to go those same 200 miles. So that was my point. So that's kind of where you can notice a difference. So I'm driving less miles because I'm not, if I go 1,500 miles or 1,000 miles, it's the freight, the rate is not going to be that much of a difference. But if I drive, 150, 200, even 300 miles, that's where I consistently have seen $2 and more per mile. So, but that's pretty much it. This video is a little longer than I wanted. If I do find any other things from the notes that I wrote down when I get home, I'll talk about it tomorrow. But that was it. So I hope you guys have a great night. I'm gonna go probably get not first place in this pool tournament, but that's always the plan. So I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. Peace.